Happy New Year, everyone. It's your host, Tony, here in Syracuse, New York. I want to welcome you all to 2014's first IDEAChatCNY here with Justin O. Um, Today, we'll be chatting with Justin O, the CEO and co-founder of Connect Now, a social networking app leveraging the power of your digital footprint. The topic today is tips for App Store newbies. So for all of you out there that are considering whether or not you want to take an idea and put it on the App Store, this show is for you. I want you all to follow us on Twitter and use the hashtag pound IdeaChatCNY and follow me on Twitter at Tony Fry Baloney and to stay up to date on other idea chats, events, cool resources, and follow at IdeaCuse. So let me invite our guest on air right now. Justin, where are you, buddy? Here we go.
Good evening, everybody. How's it going, Tony?
Hey, what's going on, Justin? All right, so
Not too much. Thank you for having me on tonight.
awesome. How was your New Year, man?
It was good. Very good.
Good, good, good. And actually, I hope everyone out there's New Year was full of fun and merriment and good choices, good decisions. So let's just jump right into it, man. This is the 1 year anniversary of Connect Now. You guys founded last year around this time, four friends. Tell us about what Connect Now is, what inspired the idea, um, and yeah, why should people download this app? Tell us about it.
Well, Connect Now story is pretty remarkable. It came about from an idea that originated from just a sidebar chat that I had with one of my good friends from home, who is a co-founder of the team. His name is Joe. Joe is one of my best friends from home. We grew up together, and when I was visiting home 2 Thanksgivings ago in November back in 2012. Joe and I went to go get a drink, and I remember Joe he asked me if it wouldn't be really cool if he could press a button on his phone and get a girl's phone number. And I kind of took that idea, and we kind of fed off each other for a few weeks. And I was like, you know what, that's a really cool idea. What if we could kind of expand on that and use it for networking purposes and also for D's comment is too funny. And just trying to expand it on a social level, just making it very simple for people to exchange information. Instead of the traditional sense of you sitting in a loud bar or a networking event where you're trying to utilize your time, and you're sitting there trying to get someone's number and manually pushing in the buttons and trying to spell someone's name out and whatnot. So long story short, Joe and I fed off the idea for a while. I went back to Syracuse and I consulted with Serge, who is our head marketing guy. Serge is a networking pro. He's a marketing guru, and he also works for Elite Daily. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the website.
Oh yeah.
So I consulted Serge, and he really liked the idea as well. And Serge ultimately found Ben, who is our developer. So we formed a team, and we kind of fed off the idea for a while. Our only problem was that Serge, Ben, and myself were up in Syracuse while Joe was still back home. He attended Fordham University, so we obviously had the communication barrier and whatnot. So we were trying to get on calls and video chatting and whatnot. But we really didn't make any definitive moves until we had gotten back home for winter break, where we went about forming an LLC, forming a business, and having some structure, having an operating agreement, kind of laying out all our ideas to Ben, our developer, who, by the way, has a handful of apps that have been very successful on the iPhone market.
Oh,
So
nice.
we knew we found the right guy. Yeah. Um, so from there, we were kind of just feeding off ideas, thinking of cool features. We were also looking for a graphic designer. We went back to school after winter break and we started making more moves. Not to mention that Joe and Serge actually they never physically met until May. So we were doing business for 5 6 months without two of our co-founders never meeting face to face. which is really interesting, I think, in the end, because nowadays you don't necessarily need to be face to face with someone to do business with them.
True.
Technology, obviously, us video chatting here, or just
Exactly.
hopping on, exactly, or hopping on a call, or just shooting emails and whatnot. It's sufficient. So a year later, well, not a year later, a few months later, we launched the app at the end of July last year, and we have over 20,000 users, right around 20,000, and we're looking to implement more features. It's been a great experience overall. We've definitely learned a lot as a team, and it's great because at the end of the day, we had an idea, we ran with it, and we stayed persistent even when times were tough. Um,
Whoa.
and that's where we are today.
Awesome. So that was crazy long story, and it sounds like you guys got a lot accomplished in a really short amount of time. You had an LLC, had 20,000 downloads in 6 months. It sounded like you guys put together the right team. Great combination of experience, from the marketing to the tech stuff. Um, what other kinds of things did you consider when making the app? Like, why did you choose the iPhone um, versus just making I guess maybe a desktop application? Why
Right.
why an app?
Well, first and foremost, we wanted to allow our users to have the convenience of exchanging information within the palm of their hands. Desktop apps nowadays, they're a little outdated, and we were focusing on the mobile market. Um, we kind of looked at our own school populations and just what the students were using. And up at Syracuse and down at Fordham, um, students were using the iPhones. I mean, Androids are very relevant as well. They hold the majority of the market share nowadays. But at the same time, the iPhone market was big enough for us to know if we were going to be successful and what kind of features and what kind of people we were going to be working with. That being said, we started off with the iPhone, and Ben, our developer, he's a beast at coding iOS. So we figured that we would start with the iPhone and eventually move towards the Android market. Um, so I mean, we still have yet to move over to the Android market. Um, we're really just trying to conquer, I guess you could say, the iOS market before we move to the Android.
So, what does your timeline look like for that? Are you trying to hit, a certain number of downloads before you move over to Android, or, is
Mhm.
it just a matter of actually coding it, for Android stuff?
Right. Um, well, the thing is, we have a lot of goals that we want to accomplish within the iPhone market, and I think with having an app, you're not going to really hit the jackpot the first time you come out with an app. You're going to learn from it. You're going to learn what you can improve, what's not going to work, and you kind of just find the median between all of that. Right now, we're in a stage where we're coming out with our 2.0 version. We're going to be relaunching the app with some beast features on it, and we've been sitting down for months now just really coming up with all these ideas and finding the ones that we want to implement at this time. So in terms of the Android market, we had initially planned to shift over to it a few months after we launched our initial version. But as of now, we're going to be waiting a few months until 2.0 comes out, and then we're going to play it from there.
Nice. So, walk us through how you use the app. So, let's say I'm at a bar,
Right.
I'm networking. How exactly does the app itself work?
Well, I could kind of walk you through it right here on my phone.
Yeah, sure.
So basically what we have over here is just give me a second. It's
Yeah, so while you're setting that up, I just want to
yes,
invite our guests. So if anyone has a question, feel free to hit the blue question button that's right down here. We'll answer your questions live on the air a little bit later. Then feel free to submit questions over here in the live chat feed. We'd love to hear from you. We'd like to keep the conversation light and to include you in the conversation. So don't feel hesitant. Just make some comments, laugh. Let's have a good time.
absolutely.
You set
Alrighty,
up?
so I could walk you
All right.
through the app right now.
Yeah, sure.
So basically what we have over here is a contact card. You can register through Facebook. You can register on your own on the side, and provide all your information. So as you can see over there, it says my name. It has my profile picture, my cover photo, and my phone number, email, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. So I have my primary social networks along with my number and my email address. I think, as opposed to the traditional business card where you're providing, your work address and all this information that traditional people use, I guess an older generation. That's not really what we were aiming to, um, I guess you could say, implement within our app, but rather, having like a stronger social presence for younger hip people that want to exchange their social media information. So with that information over here, you can go directly to the search button and you can search anybody within the app by their name, their company, their school, or you could pull in your Facebook, Twitter, or your contact
Nice.
friends. So if I want to find someone on the app, so let's say I looked up Serge, for instance. Serge and I are connected already, but usually it would say connect. So I would press the connect button on the right side and send him a request, and he would get a push notification saying that he has a new request from someone who wants to connect with him. Now, let's say he accepts me. He can simply go to my card. Um, Now this is what someone else's card looks like. So right within the card itself, I could press someone's number and have the option to call or text them
Nice.
directly from the app. I could send them an email with the preset template. So it would say, here's a message from your connection on Connect Now, and it would say, hi, so and so. And the cool thing about it is, let's say, Tony, let's say you and I met for the first time at a bar, and I want to connect with you on Facebook. The whole hassle of going on Facebook and trying to find someone through your mutual friends, or that whole process is, kind of annoying itself. So the cool thing about the app is you can go directly to someone's Facebook, and let's say I press my friend Guy's Facebook, it goes directly to his page, and I could just add him there without having to go through all the trouble after I log in.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
yeah, and I could do that for all the social networks over here. Now, with all that information, I could press the button on the top right. I'm sorry, I can't even angle this that well. And when I press done, all that information is stored in my contact book. So instead of manually putting in someone's information, I have it all there. Um, Now, a
So,
really cool part.
okay.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
A really cool part, a cool feature that we have is our locations feature. It involves real-time GPS. And what we have over here is all the blips that you see are my connections. So I'll show you where I am right now. Um, all right. So this is where I'm located right now, on Anderson Ave. Now, all the blips in my area show exactly which of my connections are in the area. So let's say I press this blip over here. It says Nico. So this is someone that's right around me. So we thought this feature would be really cool. Let's say you're in New York City for the weekend and you want to see which of your connections on Connect Now are around you. Instead of having to go on Facebook or Twitter and throwing up the traditional status or tweet saying, who's in the city, you could just simply go on your locations feature and see exactly who's around you.
Nice.
Um, so that was like our novelty feature, our specialty feature on the side, and that's basically the app.
Nice. So we had a couple good questions from some folks. Um, D wants to know, do you have any advice on how to market a mobile app? And actually, that kind of brings me to, my next question. What kind of hurdles did you face when trying to get 20,000 downloads in 6 months? Because, there are tons of apps on the App Store. There are probably tons of networking apps, digital business cards, yada, yada, yada. Um, how did you stand out amongst the rest?
Absolutely. Well, I think first and foremost, with any app that you want to have that kind of viral effect, word of mouth is really important. And the first, I feel like anybody that has an app on their phone, they're gonna have to hear it from one of their friends first. When Snapchat first came out, it wasn't like they just automatically got a million downloads or anything like that. You had people going around saying, check out this really cool app. You could send a picture for 10 seconds and then it disappears. Word of mouth is very important, so we definitely wanted to focus on the college markets first. We focus on Syracuse, where a lot of people in Syracuse obviously downloaded the app first, knowing that three out of the four co-founders that came up with the app idea. Um, so we want to focus on retaining these users as well. It's not easy getting downloads. There's a lot of ups and downs, in the initial phases after you launch an app. My co-founders and I, we kind of struggled in the sense that, one day we would have hundreds of downloads, and then the next day we would have like 50 or 60, and it's, really, it's not easy because it's not consistent. I do remember one time back in August, like 3 weeks after we launched the app, there was one day where Ben called us and he was like, guys, we just got like 3,000 downloads. And he's like, I can't figure out where we got the downloads from. And after looking into it, we found out that the downloads came from Saudi Arabia. And we had no idea how those people out there, even found out about Connect Now. But we came to realize that, our Facebook promotions and our ad campaigns, along with our tweets and whatnot, um, those really work. So, I mean, I think utilizing social media and having a strong social media presence and just engaging with the users and the people who actually are fans of the app are important.
So Dan asked, actually, have you looked into any type of formal advertisements, such as paid advertisements on Facebook or other social media websites like Google AdWords and stuff like that?
Right. Yeah, we've ran a few ad campaigns on Facebook where our numbers, our like numbers, increased a lot. And at the same time, we ran an ad campaign targeting different countries. And after we ran our first campaign, that's when the 3,000 plus downloads came from Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
So I think they're very effective. It's just kind of timing, and at the same time, it just really depends. Word of mouth, like I said, is very important. We were going through our Twitter stream that day, just searching Connect Now on Twitter, and we saw over 20 tweets from people from Saudi Arabia, which is very neat.
That's interesting. I wonder why Saudi Arabia, of all places. Do you guys have connects out there?
No, you know what? We actually haven't even figured it out to this day. Um, we just joke around all the time saying we wish it happened again because that was definitely one of the most memorable days.
Wow, that's crazy. I know there are a lot of students over here on campus who have ideas for apps, and they struggle trying to figure out how to get one. So it seems like
Right.
the first and the most powerful step is to kind of tap your network. Tap your
Hmm.
friends, tap your family, and just let it
Absolutely.
just go from there. It seems. Am I
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. I think we have another question. I guess we can just take this time now to just take a quick break and answer some of our audience questions. Um,
Okay.
while we get some questions up on the screen, I'd like to remind everyone that's viewing that this is Justin O, the CEO and founder of the Connect Now app, an iPhone app that allows you to leverage your digital footprint online to connect with others from all over the world, even Saudi Arabia. Um, if you hit the blue question button right down here, we are going to answer some questions from our audience. Feel free to insert comments in the live chat on the right. And it seems like we have our first question up. Markel asks, what was the hardest obstacle you had to overcome when you first started developing this app?
Right. Um, well, I'm sure my developer could definitely answer that question a lot easier than I can. But in terms of, what, obviously, my friend Joe, and Serge, we run the business side of the company. But in terms of, developing the app itself, I guess it's just really, which features we can implement and which we couldn't. Because coming from three business guys, we came up with ideas, a lot of which Ben couldn't implement because it's just physically not possible to, put those features in. So it's kind of, it was difficult gaining an understanding of what we can actually do and what we can't. And at the same time, it was just trying to help Ben as much as we could with him. working out the bugs and just creating an app that had nice flow. And had cool features, and at the same time wasn't too much on the user to the point where they're going to lose interest within the first few minutes, and just kind of retain them after they realize that it's a really cool app that they can benefit from.
That's what's up. Then we have another question. So Ashraf actually wants to know, I didn't mention this earlier, but this is actually a free app. And,
Mhm.
I know you're a hustler, man. I know what it's like. It's all about getting paid. So how are you making money? What's your monetization look like for Connect Now?
Right. Well, I think you could take the example of Snapchat or Instagram in a day like today, day and age like today. They didn't have revenue streams. They didn't make Snapchat still doesn't make money. And you have Instagram that got valuated at $1 billion and ultimately bought out by Facebook. We have a similar goal in the sense that I think, I mean, it's pretty obvious that the value of your app increases with the more users you get. And at the same time, you're not going to get as many users as you can if you're going to, charge for the app. You got to keep it free. You got to keep it simple. And in the long term, we do have plans to incorporate advertisements. We have a lot of different ways that we can make money off it. A lot of which I can't share at the moment. But
So
in terms of making money, I mean, it's difficult right now because we're bootstrapping. We're investing our own money into it right now. But ultimately, the short-term goal is to get investment and then to implement more features and then get those advertisements on so we can start making money.
so just in case there are any investors that are watching right now, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
You can call me or send me an email.
Okay.
Or you know
Uh,
what? Yeah, you can give me a call. If you download Connect now and you shoot me a request, I'll accept you and you'll have my phone number and my email address right there.
nice. Let's I'll have my here we go. So, like Connect Now on Facebook, they have over 3,000 likes, over 20,000 downloads. Um, again, started really launched 6 months ago, making amazing progress. If you have any questions for Justin after watching this show, feel free to hit him up on Facebook or just download the app and connect with him. Also, all they do is just search Justin, Justin O. Is there anything
Just to
special
know.
they have to
Yep.
search? Okay, so search
No,
Justin
not at
O
all.
of Connect Now to get in touch with him. If you're on Twitter, submit your questions, comments, concerns, and love for Connect Now using the hashtag pound IDEAChatCNY. Also, follow at IdeaCuse for any other info, updates about future Idea Chats. And again, if you want to get in touch with Justin, we can always relay that connect over to you. Hit me up, Tony Fry Baloney. You already know me, what I'm about. I'm about hustling, making money, and helping folks like Justin get out there into the big wide world and make that money. Um, Visit our website at idea.syr.edu for cool resources. If you're on campus here at Syracuse University, feel free to hit me up if you have an idea for an app like Justin. Justin, at the time you were on campus, what resources did you use? 'Cause I don't think we touched on that at all.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the
Oh,
question?
I think we
You were
might
kind
have,
of cut off over there.
lost Justin.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think we might have lost
You
Justin.
hear me, Tony?
So while we try to get Justin back up on the air, I just want to invite everyone. Oh, there he is. Justin, you there?
See me over there? Yeah, I'm over
Yeah.
here.
Okay,
Just
there
cut
we
off for a
go.
few seconds.
Yeah, so what I was saying, we didn't touch on this actually. You said that you came back to campus, you had
Right.
the idea. Were there any resources that you used, whether they were on campus or online, that helped you take your idea to that next level?
Um, well, first off, I was a marketing and entrepreneurship major in the Whitman School. And we have a great entrepreneurship program up at Syracuse. So obviously I was very excited with the idea that we had just come up with. I went back to school and I consulted with a lot of professors up there. Not only entrepreneurship professors, but just any business professors in general. A lot of my marketing teachers that I had from the past, I asked them about the idea and I asked for honest feedback, many of which really thought the app wouldn't be successful. I kind of used all the good, feedback and the bad feedback to just find that medium to drive me, just to make it happen. And this past summer when we started getting some content written about us, some reviews and some articles and whatnot, I made sure to let all of them know that we were definitely making making a presence in the market, and people were catching on to the app.
Nice. Dan actually wants to know, well, I mean, we already kind of went over what the app does, but what makes your app unique compared to other context sharing apps like Bump? Um, I don't know, are you thinking about possibly implementing some new stuff in the next update that could you share anything like that with us right now?
Yeah, in terms of features, we have the cool location feature, which definitely separates us and differentiates us from our competitors and whatnot. With Bump, I mean, Bump has it's found a lot of success with their app, but at the same time, Bump, you have to physically be next to someone and bump your phones with them. Whereas Connect Now, I could be, in New Jersey, sitting at my house right now and connecting with one of my buddies from out in California, just by a simple name search. I think that's definitely a way that we differentiate ourselves. Um, like I said, there are a lot of different apps out there right now that focus on the whole digital business card sense and just exchanging information. And we've learned that in the past few months. It's really not an easy market to penetrate. That being said, these past few months we've used this as a learning experience, just getting our users up, and at the same time, just having our creative thinking sessions and really, identifying the needs that users have out there. Um, so with that being said, we have a lot of cool features that we're going to be launching with our new version within the next few months. Um, and I can't really go into too much detail about the features, but I'll tell you something, and that's that I think we found the gold with this one, and we feel
Nice.
like we're going to hit the jackpot with this one. So we're very confident in that.
Well, best of luck, man. Daniel has a question. You know, do you have a download goal for your first year? So you're already 6 months in.
Right.
What is it? 6 months from now is June. So by June, what's your goal for number of downloads? Do you have one even?
Well, I think initially, the team had a goal to hit, crazy numbers in terms of downloads from the end of July when we launched the app itself. We obviously wanted to have that, viral effect where everybody knew about Connect Now and downloaded Connect Now. That's changed a little bit since. I like your dog over there. Um, that's changed since because we realized that there are, other features that we need to implement, and we need to focus on our core. One problem that we did face was we rely too much on the average user. With that, I mean, with the social network, when you're trying to build a social network, you can't really rely on people to download the app and to be on it because the only way that it's going to work with an app like Connect Now is if you have a huge user base where you can a random person out in the middle of Milwaukee can go on their phone and connect with people that are in his area. Whereas right now, we're obviously geographically pinned to Syracuse, New York City, and the New Jersey area. So, we focus on our core function and the way to improve that problem and to simplify it for our users. And we took that, came up with a really cool new feature that users will be able to use within the next month, month and a half, and a cool set of features on the side.
All right. Am I there? Can you guys hear
You over
me?
there? Yes, you are.
Okay,
Yep.
there we go. So let me that was my dog, by the way. He was so happy about the app he started running around and making a bunch of noise. So
Oh yeah, you should make him a Connect card.
You know what's actually pretty funny? He actually has a Facebook account, so maybe he
Oh yeah,
will. The only problem is I'm not buying
yeah.
him an iPhone, so he might not
Oh,
actually get a Connect Now card.
yeah.
Actually, so we're gonna take one more question from Dan, and then we're going to wrap it up. So Dan wants to know, with 20,000 users, how many are actively using, and how can you tell?
Well, we have analytics that tells us, it gives us all the numbers, it gives the breakdown with everything. Um, so out of the 20,000 users, I would say as of right now, maybe 1,500 are active.
Okay,
Um, and that's pretty high for, for 20,000 users to have nearly 10% of our users active. But that number's been on a steady decline because we haven't been able to come up with new features for the user. We really, I think time and money obviously are going to be you're going to have to put time and money into anything you do. And right now with our version that we have on the App Store, that's not where we really want to allocate all our time and money. It's more so of our new version that we're coming out with.
gotcha.
So once that comes out, we're going to be putting in, um, we're going to be advertising, putting a lot of money into marketing, and because, like I said, we're very confident in our new version.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So right now, just for all those that are tuning in just now, this is Justin Ode, CEO and co-founder of Connect Now. We're just talking about the highs and lows of putting an app on the App Store, talking about the kinds of things that you face, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We just went through a bunch of questions, so once this screencast is over, you can always rewatch it from the beginning and get all the great tips and tricks that Justin has to share with you. No point in making the mistakes that he made. So take this as a great opportunity to learn the ropes and make some really smart decisions when trying to put an app up on the App Store. Um, we're running out of time, so you mentioned that you have an update coming. Do you have any other apps or any other projects that are in the pipeline, or is Connect Now getting all your attention?
Connect Now is getting all my attention right now, but I can say that with a business mind like myself and just someone who's really understood the whole tech and app game, I'm constantly looking at apps and identifying opportunities and whatnot. So we throw it in the pipeline for the future. But right now, it's better to focus on one venture and one idea than to kind of scatter your time into different ideas. Because if you told me a year and 3 months ago, back in November of 2012, that I'd be looking to the future, to January 2014, and you told me that this app wasn't going viral yet, I wouldn't believe you because I had a lot of hope, and I think when anybody comes up with an idea initially, you're kind of blinded by reality, and you're so quick to think that this is the money maker, this is jackpot idea, but what people don't understand is that it takes time. Everything takes time. You look at any other successful social network out there, no one's coming out with an idea and they're not hitting the jackpot the first time around. It's an experience. You're going to have to learn from it and grow with it. Realize what's going to work and what's not going to work and focus on your core.
So any last tips for the App Store newbies out there?
Yeah, I have a few tips over here. Uh, First tip being don't expect too much from the average user. Um, because a lot of tech savvy people are gonna create an app and they're gonna be like, oh, the average user is gonna be able to use this app or find value in it because of this and that. But the reality of it is that you have to dumb it down and simplify it so much that your 8-year-old cousin can use it or your grandmother can use it. It has to be that simple. Um, I think the first 3 to 5 minutes that a user downloads an app and uses it is very crucial to whether they're going to, use the app or spread the word and go to their friends and encourage them to download it. So it's very important that you make a lasting impression within those first 3 to 5 minutes and make sure that you hook them on right from the start. Uh, and that all leads back to simplicity. You want to keep it very simple because no one wants to use an app that they can't figure out within the first few minutes. Um, I think graphics are very important. You want to make it look very aesthetically pleasing, and just give it a sexy, nice UI. Um, and last but not least, just keep learning and keep building. Because, like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. No app is going to hit the jackpot the first time around. You have to really focus on your core, learn from your mistakes, and just realize that nothing's built overnight. Nothing's going to become an instant success. You just really have to stay persistent. Because I can confidently say that 9 out of 10 people in my team and I situation right now, they wouldn't have pushed through and work to get to where they are right now. So we're very excited for the future, the near future. We have our short-term goals and our long-term goals, and knowing that my three other partners are like-minded and they're very persistent and they don't give up, I know that we're going to be successful.
Well, man, from everyone out there that's watching right now to everyone over here at Cuse, we wish you the most success. If you haven't downloaded the app, check it out. Here's a link to it right here. Download the app, check them out on Facebook, like the page, share your experience with them. Let everyone know how you like it so that maybe there's a feature out there that they can implement, in their next update. We live in an age where making connections with people is not hard because you got apps like Connect Now. So take advantage of it. We hope you all enjoyed the show. Justin, thank you so much for
Thank
taking the
you,
time
Tony.
out to chat with us
Thank you, Tony.
today. Um,
Absolutely.
Hit up Justin on Twitter. Follow them at Connect Now. And until our next Spreecast, actually, before I sign off, we have a few other Spreecasts lined up. So check out our Spreecast coming up. We're going to be talking about some really interesting topics. So RSVP for those as soon as you get a chance. Check out for the update for Connect Now 2.0 coming out really soon. And for me, Justin, and everybody in the entrepreneurship community, thank you all for attending Idea Chat CNY. Happy New Year again,
Thank you.
man. Take it easy.
Happy New Year. You have a good one,
Yep.
Tony.
Bye, everybody.